It's time for Sunbelt Conference Baseball on ESPN as we welcome you to the campus of the University of Southern Mississippi at Pete Taylor Park that's hosting Game 3 of the Sunbelt Conference Series between South Alabama and the nationally ranked Southern Miss Golden Eagles. It's the rubber match day today inside Pete Taylor Park. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth. I'm Jason Baker alongside my color analyst Chris Kirtland. And Kirtland, a little bit of a wrinkle to today. 30-minute rain delay these teams have had to endure. How does that affect things mentally?
That's right. I think the team gets ready for the ball game. First pitch set for about 3 o'clock, and then a little half-hour rain delay there. Both teams kind of sat back and found some shelter, but now the sun's shining. It's time to play baseball.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect weather. It was not great baseball for the black and gold last night for South Alabama. They played well. This ball game today seems significant because of the events of last night.
That's right. You get a rubber match here Sunday. The winner of this game wins the series. You're looking to bolster yourself in Sunbelt standings. You had some action last night with some home runs hit on both ends. You know, of course, Kyle Morrison for South Alabama and Russo and Pato here.
Yeah, the Southern Miss has only had 3 extra base hits in this series. They have all been by the big fly. That's been the story for South Alabama as well is Kyle Morrison. He has been a threat in the order, and then last night the balls were falling for the Jags. That has not been the case early this season for South Alabama, but a story for them is their Saturday starter Mitchell Herr as well.
That's right. Mitchell went out there and made it tough on those Golden Eagle bats, got deep into the ball game, of course, for the relief pitcher, the big lefty here to come in here and finish it off.
Yeah, it was Jackson Scheinflug slamming the door. It'll be the Jags batting order when we return. There's a big ball game to be played today right here on Pete Taylor Park. Stick around. Jaguars batting order. They had 5 different Jaguars with 2 hits in Game 2 last night. Kirtland, that's significant because they only had 2 hits on Friday night in Game 1.
That's right. Sort of a tale of 2 games there. A lot more offensive production top to bottom of this lineup last night in the Saturday ball game for the Jags.
Of course, Kyle Morrison has been the story. It'll be a freshman left-hander who's becoming a story for the Southern Miss Golden Eagle Ball Club. The freshman out of Greenville Springs, Louisiana, Graydon Harris on the bump today.
That's right. True freshman. He was ready to get the ball on the weekends. Pitching at a 1.37 ERA and 3 wins, 19 innings on the year so far. Kind of making himself solidified in the weekend rotation.
Carson Pato's in his usual perch of the right field in front of the right field roost. The only double play turned by the Golden Eagles this weekend was off the arm of that man in Carson Pato. It'll be Brennan Holt to lead it off. He's swinging at the first pitch, taps it to Russo. 1 pitch, 1. 2-2. This is lifted to left, and that ball is gone off the top of the scoreboard, 394 feet away. And South Alabama has regained the lead that they controlled much of last night. They lead it 1-0 here in the top of the first.
So it looked like maybe a hanging changeup here, an 86-mile-an-hour pitch that was middle and up. And John Smith got a good swing on it and put it off the top of the scoreboard here for the solo home run.
Gillespie gave it the courtesy jog to runs, 5 RBIs. Loops this out over the head of Ozzie Pratt, and that baseball finding the turf once again for South Alabama. He's hit a double last night. Ground ball. Trey Barrett will field it off a nice hop. It's over to Matthew Russo in time. There's 2 away.
Home run. Good life on the fastball so far.
Mike Young's going the other way. Carson Pato catches the end of that one, but not before South Alabama strikes 394 feet. Christian Ostrander and the Southern Miss Golden Eagles batting order shook up today, and it's because of the bottom of that stat. Batters 1 through 3 in this series, 0 for 22, 7 walks, 2 hit by pitches, all to speak of, Kirtland.
Yeah, I guess it's a good reason to shake some things up. When you're not getting production out of your first 3 hitters, it doesn't hurt to change some things. Nick Monistere, who has been having some very competitive at-bats over the last 2 weeks. Matt Russo, who's about as hot as any hitter in this lineup or throughout the conference, along with Jake Cook. 3 good ones to have the top of this lineup.
On the mound today for South Alabama, it's Chase Davis, another freshman left-hander. He's a 6'3", 215-pounder out of Tallahassee, Florida. Leon High School, making his sixth start of the season.
That's right. Yet another left-hander, another freshman left-hander. Two of them on the bump today in this ball game. But, you know, Davis is going to be one of those guys that's going to be competitive with his fastball with two good secondaries. A talented freshman arm, but another left-handed arm to throw against this Southern Miss lineup.
And Kyle Morrison, we highlighting defensively. He entered the weekend fielding about .847 of 3 hits and 5 runs. 4 were earned. He walked 1 and struck out 1. An excuse-me swing by Jake Cook. Slow roller to Kyle Morrison. Follows behind Nick Monistere. Ripped inside the bag. That's off the barrel of Nick Monistere. Way down into the left field corner. Mike Young will have to trot that one down. Nick Monistere stands up with a double out of the 2-hole with 1 out here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, nice. It's going to be tough on lefties.
He tried to go to the breaking ball, but it missed upstairs. 1-1 ground ball. They're going to flip it to 2 for 1 over to first in time. 6-4-3 inning ending DP, and that's it for the Golden Eagle rally here in the bottom of the 7 with a run scored in the weekend series. Lifts this out in the center field. Jake Cook flips the hips out onto the warning track, and he'll make the catch. There's a big ball game for the Golden Eagles. Winners 14-2 in that one. Slider, punch down, 0 for 4. He'll go the other way, slicing it towards that right field line. Carson can't see it. It'll bounce in fair territory and over the wall. Pato lost sight of it right at the line.
Body to a point where it's really hard. It's really hard to see the ball being released the way that he positions his body when he releases.
Stolen base, their third of the weekend series, but Graydon Harris spots up 93 on the outer half. Big cut from Ty Brooks. Jags will strand a runner at third base. The Golden Eagles coming to bat for the second.
That don't lie. A big
Pato stinks this out in the center field. That's a single for Carson Pato.
I think what you love, strikes out much more than he walks, which is a very welcome sign.
Nice Sunday hop. Carson Pato gets a great read off of it. Of course, he was already
score. He's not going to go on every ground ball.
2-2 fastball, and Ozzie Pratt continues his ways of production in those scenarios. Pete Kirtland, that's the 14th time this season Ozzie Pratt's been given that opportunity. You know how many times he's cashed in? All 14 times, batting 1,000. In those scenarios, it's been really good with a runner on third and less than 2 outs for Ozzie Pratt.
That's a great stat right there, and that means when Ozzie gets in the box in those situations, he's not trying to do too much.
Got on an error, and Tucker Stockman goes down, lifts a fly ball out to Mike Young, the left fielder, who will make the catch. And there's now Joey Urban turns on a ball. It's going to be lifted out to the warning track and caught just a pace shy.
That you want to try to get to, not try to help out of the zone with.
Cook lifts it down the left field line. Long run for Mike Young, but he is there. That's it. 3 fly ball outs to left field, but not before the Golden Eagles tie. 1-2. We'll just go with the heater this time. 2-2. Down swinging, sweeping slide. Fastball here, tapped right back to Graydon Harris. He's going to have to hurry. Morrison runs well, and he does. Right on time, Graydon Harris puts out Kyle Morrison. That's the first time since the 8th in a place that the ball travels well. Monistere puts it back up out in center field. It's a single for Nick Monistere.
This is what you
kind of consulted each other on what they were thinking. Russo, ground ball. Miranda was trying to shuttle it over to Ty Brooks at second base. Monistere will be safe. There's no throw over to first, and Russo's there on the fielder's choice.
It helped that Monistere had
1-2. Sky to left. Mike Young's been busy. He's fighting a breeze, but he'll stand on the warning track. Monistere tagging. He'll take the base.
An important, your fly ball rules indicate, and that's going to get the job done. That's
Carson Pato trying to hit a sacrifice fly. Brennan Holt will gather it in center field. And the Golden Eagles have gained the lead of 2-1 here in the bottom of 3 on a sac fly from Carson Pato.
Good station-to-station baseball right there. With no outs, Monistere sees the fly ball to left field. With no outs at second base, you go and get halfway and kind of make a decision.
Pitcher. 3-2 fastball. He was a weekend starter, but injury has put him in the pen. Pratt pulls this. Fair ball. Lucas Ishmaeli will field it. Step on the bag. That's it for the bottom of 3, but not before the run came in on a sac fly from Carson Pato after Monistere press box. Fly ball as the skipper of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. Harris goes up and in.
Going to give something to an offense. Make them earn it.
Monistere over to Pratt. Over to Russo. 4-6-3. The pitcher's best friend. Inning. DP. That's it for the top of 4. Might as well know exactly why. Yep, alligator balls, boudin balls, fried speckled trout.
Fresh out of the Gulf, baby.
That's our friends out of Hopedale, Louisiana. Stevens rocks and fires 3-2. He gets Stockman the chase. That was a running from injury. Joey Urban takes a ball off the arm. Pitch on the way, fastball that missed downstairs. Good at bat. He's got stickers.
He's got stickers and he's got some binoculars too.
Stevens goes cutter again over the top. Down goes Russo. Stevens comes in, had the good stuff. Strikes out the side with 2 stranded on base for the Golden Eagles. We played 4. It's
there in Hattiesburg as well.
Well, you've been doing your homework, right?
Well, you got to know. You got to be able to tell the coaching staff here at USM who the up-and-comers are around town to try to come in and play right away.
Miranda sacrificed up the grade in Harris. He'll move Rhett Johnson up to second base. 3-2.
Got to get the tag on.
Yep. The 1-2 to Brennan Holt. Fastball that Holt's going to go the other way. Out in the left field. We're going to have a play at the plate. Gillespie's got a strong arm, but it's cut off by Dre Barrett. And the Jags get an answer from the top of their order at Brennan Holt. It's out of here. 3-1 pitch is a fastball just below his knees. 73rd pitch out of Graydon Harris's hand is a dandy. That's the sweeping slider from the freshman left-hander Graydon Harris.
Good for him.
South Alabama gets a run. You're tied up at 2 apiece. Back. 3-0 pitch inside Gillespie, who walked. 3-2 fastball, and they get it by Carson Pato. That 3-2 pitch. Barrett was trying to stay back, couldn't. Pops it up. Dre knew the pitch too. Just. It's a walk for Ozzie Pratt. It's going to put 2 aboard. Matthews setting up inside. It's the fastball. Tucker Stockman gives it a ride into the right center field gap, but Rhett Johnson is there to make the catch for out. Number 3. Stockman got good wood on it. 99X. 3-2 fastball. This is lifted up. Carson was shading his eyes from the sun. He'll make the catch out in right field.
Get up on you 92 and 93s with the fastball.
2-2. This is hit sharply, but right at Carson. Pato on a line. And there's 2 away.
Back behind the batter for these outfielders.
Fly ball. Carson camps underneath it. He'll make the catch. That's it. 3 flyouts to Carson Pato in right. And that's how the top of the 6th concludes.
That's something that this Southern Miss lineup is going to try to expose.
In his other 2 at-bats, Cook trying to lay down a bunt, and he pops it up. Kyle Morrison dropped it on the exchange, but made the Payoff pitch, fastball. Monistere lifts to left center field. 106 off the bat and gone. A two-run bomb from Nick Monistere, his 6th of the season.
Well, Jason, I think he likes that two-hole. Big time spot for Nick Monistere to put his team back on top. Got that 90-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle. Got all of it over the left center field wall.
Boy, he sure did. 106 off the bat, 390. In comes Jarrett Moresco, who's a soft-tossing right-hander, 87 to 88 with the fastball. Heavy use of the breaking ball for the junior out of Port Orange, Florida.
That's right. Back to your point on Stevens. No hits until the home run from Monistere there off Stevens. Lots of people.
Moresco working from the stretch. Gets the fast. 0-1 is popped up. First base side. Lucas Ishmaeli is there. He'll make the catch. And that's it for the bottom of the 6th inning. The two-run homer by Monistere. 4-2 Southern Miss. It'll be Brooks Willoughby Kirtland on the mound. The tall left-hander, 6'5" freshman out of Vicksburg, Mississippi, a Warren Central product. He's becoming a guy that's being known for these kind of back-end moments, Chris.
Sure. Brooks Willoughby kind of proven another true freshman, by the way.
Red Johnson puts a barrel on this. It's over the head of Carson Pato off the bottom of the wall. Red Johnson trying to turn it into 2. They just regained the lead to the Golden Eagles. Ground ball. Pratt charging. Only plays the first. Is it in time? Yes, it is.
That's a great
in as the corners. Brooks now showing bunt. Russo will charge. His only play is the first to get Brooks. He goes slider again. Tucker Stockton applies the tag. First strikeout of the afternoon for Brooks Willoughby. The leadoff double pays a dividend for the Jags, but the Golden Eagles hold serve. We'll stretch at Pete Taylor Park. They each tend to magnify with the march towards May. Carson Pato going the other way. Mike Young was way back the left fielder. It'll be the shortstop.
Probably the closest pitch in that at-bat so far, but
Barrett finds that right backside gap right on time.
Oh, that'll be something.
The new pitcher in for South Alabama this afternoon. He's a 4-pitch mix guy. 2 different shapes of the slider. A senior out of Crestview, Florida, on to face Tucker Stockman, the 8-hole hitter for the Golden Eagles, inheriting 2 runners on the base pass. 1-2 fastball. This one is lifted out in the right. Red Johnson was there. Slider here. Braden Luke goes the other way with it. Does it have enough? It does! A 3-run jack.
You can see the excitement that Braden Luke has. Look, first of all, it's hard to come off the bench and face 94, 95 and be geared up for it to get a couple sliders. And boy, oh boy, what a great job by Braden Luke with the big bomb for his squad to add to that lead. But a guy that's been kind of waiting for his turn here and there and being ready when that time comes is just a big moment for Braden Luke and a big moment for this Southern Miss lineup.
It's Hill Denson's favorite hit, the 3-run home run. 3 today with a walk. Fastball, Cook lifts out to left center field. Brennan Holt is there. He'll make the catch. And that's it in the inning. But Braden Luke stepped off the bench, saw slider. The second one ended up way out of here. 3-run home run. And the Golden Eagles now lead it 7-3. This is a ground ball, back up the middle. Monistere got to it, back to his feet. Not in time, though.
Great play. I didn't even...
Out 1 on. That was Smith, who just reached a minute ago. Slider missed in. Kyle Morrison will take his walk. True freshman to the next, And Camden Sundstrom into this ball game for Southern Miss. The freshman out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, making his 9th appearance of this season. Kirtland, he's a guy with a lot of sink. You got to be thinking here, trying to find a way to get the ground ball, maybe turn 2. Smith, you see on your screen for South Alabama, sharply hit past Pratt out in the center field. They're going to challenge Cook's arm, but no throw. And scoring from second base is John Smith. There's a beautiful slide. 2 on, 1 out. Fastball hit over the head of Nick Monistere out in the center field. Jay Cook, a strong throw to Matthew Russo, who will cut it. Veteran Chandler Beston, the senior left-hander out of Mobile, Alabama, is into this ball game for the Golden Eagles. He closed out Friday night's win, a third of an inning of work of no-hit baseball, walked 1 in that relief performance. Really was trying to get hot quickly and had to be thrust into that ball game. Here he comes in a really high leverage moment, 1 away and the bases juice.
He had recovered off of his surgery.
Red Johnson goes out to Davis Gillespie, who misread this. It was a late release from third base by Kyle Morrison to see it. Miranda lays this out to the warning track. Gillespie will make the catch, banging against the wall. Tagging from third is Lucas Ishmaeli, and it's a walk. Best, the Ty Brooks, who goes down to a knee and lifts it out to center field. Wind drifting it a tad. Jake Cook is there for the 3rd out, but it's a 3-run top. Monistere is a triple shy of the cycle. He will beat this off the turf. Miranda charging on the run. Down goes Monistere. They've got a new right fielder as well to the Jags. Russo down, swinging. They trying to provide the coverage. 2-2 slider. This is hammered right out into Rhett Johnson in left field. That'll be a single for Gillespie. Alley in the bottom of the 8th. Gillis goes slider. That's going to be it. We're the bottom of the 8th. South Alabama's got 3 outs to get a run. Southern Miss is going to try to slam this door. We'll see who's tasked with Anderson. Ostrander's pulling a bullet out the pen, and it's a good one. The closer, Landon Payne, the senior out of Ocean Springs, Mississippi, had a bit of a flare-up. It's kind of kept him out over the last week or so with his back. But they're calling on him now to get into this ball game in a 1-run game in the top of the 9th. It's fastball, cutter, slider, change. He's got them all. Barrett, you see, shifting over. 3-2 payoff pitch. Cutter that
cut fastball that he was throwing.
They're going to push the bunt down. Landon Payne's only play is over to first. The sacrifice by Joel. A long look. Cutter, and Kyle Morrison has hit this out into center field. Jake Cook will pick it up off the bounce. South Alabama has tied this game in RBI double. Change up, punch down. Down goes Lucas Ishmaeli. 1-2. That was a great slide piece from Landon Payne. Down goes Cole Ketzner, but not before South Alabama ties it back up on the RBI double by Kyle Morrison. 3-1 from John Gillis. Tight slider. 1-0. Ozzie Pratt lifts one. Right center field. Back is Ethan Melton, a pace shy of the warning track. 0-2, another slide piece. Tucker Stockman offers at it. A throw down to first is in time. And John Gillis is some kind of fired up Well, we waited an extra 30 minutes to start. Why don't we stay a few extra minutes later? Free baseball in Hattiesburg. Fowler, the senior right-hander, into this ball game out of Trussville, Alabama, in relief of Landon Page. Melton, it's his first at-bat of the weekend, and he'll wear 9 RBI. Showing sacrifice here, pushes it down. Barrett will scoop it up. Throw across in time. 4th sacrifice of the afternoon. The 0-2. There it is again.
Big moments like this, and Fowler getting his opportunity.
This one skips away from Tucker Stockman on a biting slider to the bottom of the zone. For South Alabama, big pitch. Blocked up beautifully by Stockman. They'll get the swing and the miss. The throw down. A huge inning of relief from Michael Fowler. Golden Eagles with momentum back into their dugout. 3-1 fastball. What a patient AB.
Square around early and see it down before he leaves the batter's box.
Popped another one up. Right to Kyle Morrison, the third baseman. Fastball, and that got past Ketzner.
So now the slate is wiped clean, and Higdon gets to second base anyway after the failed sack attempt. Sort of back to square one if you're the Eagles there, kind of getting back to where they wanted to be after the Cook at bat. Runner in scoring position, one out with Monistere in the box. Here comes the intentional walk to get the force back in play.
They're going to put Nick Monistere on with first base. So Russo grounds it over. Ishmaeli trying for the force up at second base. They say Ty Brooks made contact with the bag. Monistere forced out, but it's runners on the corner for Braden Luke. Davis Gillespie, the batter, and Gillespie headed off the handle. Kyle Morrison will camp underneath it. We move on to the top of the 11, all tied up at 7 apiece. 1-2 hammer curveball. DHing this weekend. The 1-2 for Michael Fowler. Curveball, ground ball. Pratt sucks it up, fires across the Russo, and there's 2 away. Fowler loses this one to the backstop. Morrison will take his walk.
Zone actually confirmed it was up and in. Great job coming back with another pitch there.
Yeah, that one didn't miss it. Right to the knee. The curveball from Michael Fowler. He's growing up in front of the Pete Taylor Park crowd. We'll move on to the bottom of the 11.
That 4th inning of work.
3-1 to Pato is down. New pitcher into this ball game for South Alabama. It's their 5th one of it, and it's Brian Garman coming in. Native out of Cumming, Georgia, 6'2", 215-pound right-hander Kirtland. Full sacrifice all the way around. Seth Smith right back at Brian Garman, who will get Seth Smith by a full step up. Ozzie Pratt is going to be intentionally walked over to first base. They have battled back to tie it up. Tucker Stockman, a line out for Robert Miranda, who will back pick behind Carson Pato to step on the bag. And out of the inning goes South Alabama. On to the 12th we go here at Pete Taylor Park. The lights circle. True freshman back on the mound for Southern Miss. That's how this ball game began, with their first 3 arms. It's Mr. Mississippi in baseball out of Ripley High School. Ty Long, the freshman, in. As we approach the 12th inning here. Rendered in that time span. Ground ball here. Ozzie Pratt charges, fires. Russo maintains his contact, and there's
that have swing and miss strikeout stuff is something that Coach Oster and his staff are looking for.
Ethan Melton skies one right to Jake Cook. They're quickly 2 away in relief. He's done so one other time. And here he is into this ball game. What a stab by Seth Smith on the backhanded play. His throw across the diamond in time. And 1, 2, 3 go the Jags for the first time since the 6th inning. And the Golden Eagles will get an at-bat here in the bottom of the 12th. See if they can win this ball game. For Ben Higdon. This is scorched. Back up the middle through the wickets of Brian Gorman. Jake Cook wears one on his back foot as he's pitcher of the afternoon for South Alabama. Andrew Elkill enters this ball game here in the bottom of the 12th inning, Kirtland, and he inherits 2 with nobody out for the sophomore from Cumming, Georgia at 6'2", 210 pounds, and he comes in really. A look back to second, and Monistere pushes one, and Miranda's misplayed it. He's going to get to the baseball in shallow right field. Bases are going to be loaded and nobody out. Alabama, they're trying to win this series, and a change-up from Elkill gets.
You're trying to advance that baseball somewhere and into the outfield preferably.
2-2, he has lifted it out in the right field. Racing on was Ethan Melton. His throw sails over the dugout, and the Golden Eagles have walked it off on a sacrifice fly by Davis Gillespie.
He's fired up, JB.
He's needed a moment like this in his Golden Eagle career, and he's got one. A bottom of the 12th walk-off win. He was able to hit it well enough and deep enough into right field, Kirtland, to plate Ben Higdon, who started this inning off with a single, and I thought that was huge, Kirtland.
A lot of great moments for some Southern Miss Golden Eagles being called upon from the bench today. And I think that's the theme of this win, is guys coming in the ball game off the bench and answering the call. Both out of the bullpen and from the bench on the offensive side.
Boy, what an afternoon it was. Heroics abound. But it was Davis Gillespie who walked it off. Don't sleep on that Brayden Luke pinch hit. 3-run homer. What a performance as well from Michael Fowler. Kept this team in it out of the pen. A total team effort today. For Chris Kirtland, for our statistician, magician Marty Wyndham, for Lee Field, his entire camera, production, and graphics crew, I'm Jason Baker. We thank you for sticking around with us. It's been a long afternoon, but well worth the wait. The Golden Eagles continue their series-winning ways. They win it over South Alabama in walk-off fashion. 8-7 winners in 12 innings. You've been watching Sun Belt Conference Baseball on ESPN.